welcome back to Almost Together, the space where grace meets growth. I'm your host, Candace Wilson, and we just wrapped up our community series. And y'all, we had such a good time. Well, I had a good time. I hope y'all had a good time too. And a lot of y'all hit me up and was like, girl, get out of my business. But I be telling y'all, I don't be in your business. I be talking to myself. And so we talked about alignment, access, accountability, and the beauty of real connection. It reminded me of how deeply we truly need people. And so as we close that series and step into a new season, and I mean literally a new season because it's fall, y'all. The days are shorter, the nights are longer, and for many of us, that small shift in time can have a big impact. And it's not just about losing sunlight, it's about how our bodies, how our moods, and even our motivation responds to it. So today I want to talk about something that's really personal to me, and honestly, I know it's personal to a lot of people. We're talking about seasonal depression. So let's get into it. What's up, good people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, hello. And what's happening to my returning family? First of all, I just want to let y'all know that I'm being overly productive this week. Yes, it is 2 days before my actual recording date, and your girl is here in her hotel room recording. But I'm gonna be honest, I really want to be in my bed with a book. Because as two things. One, as you see, this is not my house. I'm in a hotel room. I'm actually in Denver for work. And don't get me wrong, I love Denver. But this high altitude and this dry weather, it don't love me back. And this is the second time I've been here and I lost the fight. But all that to say that this week has been full of work, full of connection, and full of that reminder that sometimes, even when we're doing good things, our bodies and minds still feel the shift that comes with the season. Because y'all, around this time every year, I start to feel it. The days get shorter. It's dark by 4 p.m. and my energy, it just dips. And honestly, it's not always sadness. Sometimes it's just quite heaviness. Like my body wants to shut down earlier or my motivation is just hard to find. I look up, it's 7:30 and my brain is saying, okay, it's time to go to bed. And clearly it's not. My energy shifts, my rhythm changes, and I find myself wanting to just be still. And for a while, I used to judge myself to think that, like, why can't I push through this? Why am I being so lazy? But I finally started to realize it's my body and my mind responding to this change in season. And so here's the thing, when the daylight changes, so does our chemistry. Less sunlight means less serotonin. That's the feel good stuff. And more melatonin. That's the sleepy stuff. I mean, on top of life, that combination can actually leave you pretty drained, foggy, or even hopeless. And for Black women, that goes even deeper because we are more likely to have a vitamin D deficiency, which directly impacts our mood and energy. And our melanin rich skin is getting less sunlight. And that's a problem. So when the days get shorter, we feel it physically, emotionally, spiritually. So no, you're not tripping. You're not imagining it. That's a real biological reason for why you feel so heavy during this time of year. And when you layer that on top of work, family, and everything else we're holding, it can feel like too much. So it's not just mental, it's biological. And combining that with this current state of the world, things like holiday grief, just constant bombardment of bad news, it can seem impossible. But understand that when you understand why something is happening, it gives you power. Because once I learned what was really going on, I stopped shaming myself and started supporting myself. And that begins with language. And so what we're talking about is seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. But that language alone and the knowledge of what's happening to not just my mind, my body, helped me dig into how I can support myself and allow others to support me in this season. One of the best things I've learned is to name what's happening and let other people know as well. Like my best friend has been so good about checking in on me, about asking me, am I planning to do things? What have I done? Am I in the bed? Because she know I can be in the bed. Like right now, it's 5:15 and I can be in the bed. But I'm not. I'm here recording, being a productivity queen. But seriously, like all of those things really matter. So instead of saying that I'm off, I try to say things like I'm in a slower season. Instead of saying I'm being lazy, I said my body needs more time to rest right now. Because that shift in language helps me, one, extend grace for myself. Because once I can name it, I can plan for it instead of fighting it. So if you're listening and you're noticing that something feels off, start there. Don't minimize it. Acknowledge it. You're responding to a change and not failing to keep up. And so over the past few years, I've been trying to get ahead of the slump, not waiting until I feel drained or waiting till I'm like bed rotting to make changes. These are some things that's been helping me to really just work through this. And I'll be honest, I ain't like no pro at it. Like last winter was probably my best winter in a very, very long time. So on top of like going through some very significant health changes, I just had to really invest in myself. So the first thing I'll say is stay consistent with your vitamin D, your daily vitamins, the needed minerals in your body. I get my levels checked, I take my supplements regularly, and it makes a huge difference in my mood and energy. The other thing is moving my body, going to the gym, prioritizing going to the gym. I don't be wanting to go to the gym because I don't like getting up and it's cold. And then I got to get out of my house and go in my car and it's cold. Then I got to get out of my car to go into the gym and it's cold. Keyword here, and it's cold and it's dark. But I push myself to do it because when I leave, I feel better. I feel more energized. I feel more ready to take on the day. But that's important to move your body. The third thing is getting outside during the daylight, even in the cold. 10 to 15 minutes can help reset your internal rhythm. Like take a walk, run errands, just sit by a window, sitting on your back porch, front porch, letting that sunlight come through, taking that short time to reset your internal rhythm. The fourth thing is staying connected. Isolation is sneaky. It's easy to disguise, isolation as rest. So I try to plan community time ahead. Brunches, church group chats, gym sessions, the little things. Me and my homegirl today, we did a virtual date. We did a 1 hour FaceTime call, and it was so good. We got to catch up, talk about our plans. She was letting me know the things that she has coming up, and some planning that she's doing for that. But it was so good. It was so refreshing, and I really appreciate her for that because I needed that connection. But one, I'm traveling a lot for work, and two, it's hard to do in this time of year. So making those times, those moments for connection with other people. And lastly, giving myself permission to slow down. That's a big one. Not every season is meant to move fast. Rest isn't regression, it's actually rhythm. And rhythm can be divine. When I think about this season, I'm reminded that even nature rests. Trees lose their leaves, the earth gets quiet, but that stillness isn't death. It's actually preparation. It's a reminder that God builds rhythm into everything, even rest. Psalms 139 says, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. That verse reminds me that even when my own light feels dim, God's presence is still steady. He's still at work in the quiet places, pruning, preparing, and restoring. So instead of fighting this Lord season, I'm leaning into it to ask the Lord, what are you showing me here? What would you have me be intentional about in this season? Because I know I'm slowing down. And as I've been walking through this, I've also had to redefine what success looks like. This isn't the season for endless productivity or constant doing. This is a season for intentional being. And right now, success doesn't look like doing everything. It looks like doing what matters. And for me, that means going to the gym a few times a week, staying active, saying yes to connection and community, even when I want to just lay in my bed, praying and journaling constantly, doing things that edify me, spending time with the Lord, resting without guilt. And that's a big one because I've been on the go. Y'all know I've been somewhere every week, but I am looking forward to rest. And that's enough because peace doesn't come from perfection, it comes from being present. So if this season feels heavy for you, I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know that you're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, you're literally responding to a real shift, and that's okay. So be gentle to yourself. Take your vitamins, move your body, stay connected, pray, and remember the light will return. But until it does, know that you have permission to create your own light. So if you want to read a little more about how I'm navigating this season, I wrote a blog post called Let There Be Light Even When I Can't See It. And it's where I go a bit deeper into what it looks like for practice for me. But even if you don't read it, I hope this conversation reminds you that you're not alone in this. But before we go, don't forget to share this episode with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. That's how this community grows. And make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you haven't already, go to almosttogetherpodcast.com, sign up for the newsletter for updates, reflections, and some behind the scenes thoughts. And of course, come hang out with me on Instagram and threads at Almost Together Pod. I love hearing your takeaways and how these conversations are landing with you and for you. And so, all right, y'all, until next time, take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. And remember, grace always wins. And so, let's grow, let's laugh, and let's heal almost together. Peace.